Welcome to Star Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of Hollywood's most iconic stars. I'm your host, Casey Gold, and today we're shining the spotlight on the enchanting Greta Garbo, a woman whose mystique has captivated audiences for generations. With her unparalleled talent, striking beauty, and intriguing persona, Garbo remains an eternal siren of the silver screen. As we embark on this biographical journey, get ready to discover the remarkable story behind the legend, a tale of humble beginnings, unwavering passion, and unrelenting dedication to the craft. Born on September 18, 1905, in Stockholm, Sweden, Greta Lovisa Gustafsson was the youngest of three children to Carl and Anna Gustafsson. Her early life was marked by humble beginnings, with her father working as a laborer and her mother taking in sewing to supplement the family's income. The Gustafssons lived in a small apartment in the Södermalm district, a working-class neighborhood that would later influence Garbo's down-to-earth demeanor. The streets of Södermalm were lined with cobblestone roads, quaint shops, and charming cafes, where the sounds of laughter, music, and lively conversation filled the air. It was here, in this vibrant and eclectic neighborhood, that Greta's love for life and her passion for performance would first take root. Greta's childhood was a vibrant tapestry of simplicity and imagination. She spent hours playing with her siblings, exploring the nearby parks, and watching the street performers who would often entertain the locals. Her parents, though not affluent, encouraged their children's creativity, and Greta's mother even taught her how to sing and dance. These early experiences would later shape Garbo's expressive performances on screen, as she brought a sense of authenticity and vulnerability to every role she played. The Gustafsson family would often gather around the piano, singing traditional Swedish folk songs, their voices blending in harmony as they laughed and made music together. It was during these joyful moments that Greta discovered her love for the spotlight and her desire to perform for others. As a young girl, Greta was especially close to her father, who would often take her on walks along the Stockholm waterfront. Carl Gustafsson, a kind and gentle soul, instilled in his daughter a love for nature and the arts. He would point out the beauty of the Swedish landscapes, encouraging Greta to observe the intricate details of the world around her. This early appreciation for aesthetics would serve Garbo well in her future career, where she would become renowned for her exquisite taste in fashion and cinematography. The Stockholm waterfront, with its picturesque views of Lake Mälaren and the Baltic Sea, was a place of serenity and inspiration for Greta, a place where she could escape the hustle and bustle of city life and connect with the natural world. Growing up in Stockholm during the early 20th century, Greta was surrounded by the city's rich cultural heritage. She would often attend performances at the Royal Swedish Opera, where she developed a passion for theater and music. The Opera House, with its grand architecture and ornate decorations, became a source of inspiration for the young Garbo, who would later bring a sense of drama and spectacle to her own performances. The sound of Verdi's operas, the elegance of the ballet, and the dramatic flair of Shakespeare's plays all left an indelible mark on Greta's imagination, shaping her artistic vision and fueling her desire to become a performer. As Greta entered her teenage years, she began to take an interest in fashion and beauty. She would spend hours poring over fashion magazines, admiring the elegant styles of the time, and experimenting with her own hairstyles and makeup. This early fascination with aesthetics would eventually lead Garbo to work as a salesgirl at the prestigious Nordiska Kompaniet department store in Stockholm, where she would learn about the latest fashion trends and develop her signature sense of style. The department store, with its opulent interior and exquisite merchandise, was a treasure trove of inspiration for Greta, a place where she could indulge her love of beauty and creativity. The historical context of Greta's early years was marked by significant events that would shape her character and future path. The early 20th century was a time of great social change in Sweden, with the country transitioning from an agrarian society to an industrialized nation. This shift brought about new opportunities for women, who were increasingly entering the workforce and pursuing careers in the arts. Greta's own family reflected this changing landscape, with her mother working outside the home and her father encouraging his daughter's creative pursuits. The feminist movement was also gaining momentum during this period, with women like Ellen Key and Selma Lagerlöf becoming prominent figures in Swedish society. These trailblazing women would inspire Greta to pursue her dreams, to challenge convention, and to forge her own path in life. As Greta Garbo's career began to take shape, she found herself at the forefront of the Swedish film industry, a world that was both familiar and intimidating. The year was 1924, and the city of Stockholm was buzzing with creative energy, its streets lined with quaint cafes, theaters, and film studios. It was in this vibrant setting that Garbo landed a role in the film, The Saga of Gösta Berling, directed by Moritz Stiller, a renowned Swedish filmmaker who would become her mentor, close friend, and guiding light in the industry. This film marked a significant turning point in Garbo's career as it brought her to the attention of Louis B. Mayer, the co-founder of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer MGM Studios, who was known for his keen eye for talent and his ability to launch careers. As Garbo worked on The Saga of Gösta Berling, she began to realize the magnitude of Stiller's influence on her craft. He taught her the importance of subtlety, nuance, and emotional depth in acting, skills that would become the hallmark of her performances. Under Stiller's guidance, Garbo's talent blossomed, and she quickly became known for her stunning beauty, captivating on-screen presence, and remarkable acting range. Her portrayal of Elizabeth Dona, a young noblewoman, in The Saga of Gösta Berling was particularly noteworthy, as it showcased her ability to convey complex emotions and vulnerability on screen. Mayer, who had been searching for a new talent to introduce to the American audience, was so impressed with Garbo's performance that he offered her a contract with MGM, which she accepted in 1925. This decision marked the beginning of a new era in Garbo's career, as she bid farewell to Sweden and embarked on a journey to Hollywood, a city that would become her home for the next several years. The prospect of working in America was both thrilling and daunting, as Garbo navigated the complexities of a new language, culture, and industry. Garbo's arrival in Hollywood marked the beginning of a whirlwind period in her life, as she quickly became known for her stunning beauty, captivating on-screen presence, and remarkable acting talent. Her first American film, The Torrent, released in 1926, was a massive success, with critics praising her performance as Leonora Moreno, a young Spanish woman caught up in a tumultuous love affair. The film's director, Montebell, recalled Garbo's dedication to the project, saying, "She was a true artist, always seeking to improve and perfect her craft." As she worked on The Torrent, Garbo began to develop a close friendship with her co-star, Ricardo Cortez, who would become a confidant and supporter throughout her career. As Garbo's star continued to rise, she soon found herself starring alongside some of the most prominent actors at the time, including John Gilbert and Lars Hansen. The chemistry between Garbo and Gilbert, both on and off screen, was particularly notable, and their romance became one of the most highly publicized in Hollywood. Their love affair was marked by intense passion and drama, with both actors bringing out the best in each other's performances. In the 1927 film Flesh and the Devil, directed by Clarence Brown, Garbo played the role of Felicitas, a seductive and alluring woman who becomes embroiled in a tumultuous love affair with Gilbert's character, Leo von Harden. The film's success was largely due to Garbo's mesmerizing performance, which earned her widespread critical acclaim and cemented her status as a leading lady in Hollywood. Throughout the late 1920s and early 1930s, Garbo continued to dominate the silver screen with a string of successful films, including Love, 1927, The Divine Woman, 1928, and Wild Orchids, 1929. Her performances were consistently praised by critics, who marveled at her ability to convey complex emotions and depth on screen. As she navigated the challenges of her rising fame, Garbo remained committed to her craft, continually seeking out new roles and collaborations that would push her as an artist. She worked with some of the most esteemed directors of the time, including Victor Sjöström and Edmund Golding, who helped her refine her skills and explore new aspects of her talent. One notable example of Garbo's dedication to her craft was her work on The Divine Woman, a film that showcased her remarkable range as an actress. In this 1928 drama, directed by Victor Sjöström, Garbo played the role of Marianne, a young woman struggling with poverty and heartbreak in 19th-century France. The film's success was largely due to Garbo's nuanced performance, which earned her critical acclaim and solidified her position as one of Hollywood's most respected stars. In 1930, Garbo starred in Anna Christie, a film adaptation of Eugene O'Neill's play, which marked a significant milestone in her career. This was her first talkie, and she proved to be a natural with the new technology, delivering a powerful and nuanced performance that earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. The film's director, Clarence Brown, recalled Garbo's initial hesitation about working in sound films, saying she was concerned about the transition from silent films. But once she began working on Anna Christie, she threw herself into the project with characteristic dedication and passion. As she worked on Anna Christie, Garbo began to develop a close friendship with her co-star, Charles Bickford, who would become a lifelong friend and confidant. As the 1930s progressed, Garbo continued to push the boundaries of her craft, taking on more challenging roles and exploring new aspects of her talent. In films like Ninotchka, 1939, and Grand Hotel, 1932, she demonstrated her remarkable range as an actress, playing characters that were both complex and multifaceted. Her performances were marked by a deep sense of nuance and emotional depth, qualities that would become the hallmark of her legacy as one of Hollywood's greatest stars. As the 1930s drew to a close, Greta Garbo's film career began to slow down, like the gentle fading of a sunset on a warm summer evening. Her last major role was in the 1941 film Two-Faced Woman, a comedy that showcased her remarkable range and versatility as an actress. Despite this, she continued to be a major cultural icon, a woman whose name was synonymous with elegance, sophistication, and beauty. Her legacy as one of Hollywood's greatest stars remained unchallenged, a testament to the enduring power of her screen presence. In the years that followed, Garbo became increasingly reclusive, preferring to keep out of the public eye and focus on her personal life. She never married and had no children, but was known to have had several close relationships throughout her life, including with actresses like Marlene Dietrich and writer Mercedes de Acosta. These relationships were often intense and passionate, reflecting Garbo's deep emotional nature and her need for connection with others. As she grew older, however, Garbo became more withdrawn, preferring the solitude of her New York City apartment to the glare of the spotlight. The 1950s and 1960s saw Garbo receive numerous accolades for her contributions to film, including an honorary Academy Award in 1954 for her unforgettable screen performances. The ceremony was a grand affair, with many of Hollywood's biggest stars in attendance. Garbo, however, was not there to accept the award, preferring instead to send a gracious thank you note from the comfort of her own home. She also received a special award from the New York Film Critics Circle in 1960, which praised her as one of the greatest actresses of all time. The critics' words were echoed by film scholars and enthusiasts around the world, who continued to study and celebrate Garbo's remarkable body of work. Despite these recognitions, Garbo continued to shun the spotlight, preferring to live a quiet life in New York City. She spent her days reading, traveling, and pursuing her passion for art. Her collection included works by some of the most famous artists of the 20th century, including Picasso, Matisse, and Dalí. Garbo was particularly fond of modern art, with its bold colors and innovative techniques. She saw in these works a reflection of her own creative spirit, a sense of experimentation and risk-taking that had always characterized her approach to acting. As she grew older, Garbo's health began to decline, and she passed away on April 15, 1990, at the age of 84. Her death was met with an outpouring of tributes from around the world, with many paying homage to her enduring legacy as a Hollywood icon. The news of her passing was like a shockwave, sending ripples through the film community and beyond. For those who had grown up watching her movies, Garbo's death was a reminder of the passing of time, a sense of loss that could never be fully recaptured. Today, Greta Garbo is remembered as one of the greatest actresses of all time, known for her breathtaking beauty, captivating screen presence, and remarkable range as a performer. Her films continue to be celebrated and studied by scholars and film enthusiasts alike, with classics like Anna Karenina, Ninotchka, and Grand Hotel remaining some of the most beloved movies of all time. Garbo's influence can be seen in countless other actors and actresses who have followed in her footsteps, including legends like Ingrid Bergman, Audrey Hepburn, and Meryl Streep. As film critic Pauline Kael once observed, Garbo's greatness is not just in her acting, but in the way she seems to embody the very essence of the movies themselves. This sentiment captures the enduring magic of Garbo's screen presence, which continues to enchant audiences to this day. Whether she was playing a dramatic role or a comedic one, Garbo always brought a sense of depth and nuance to her performances, a sense of inner life that seemed to pulse with its own rhythm and energy. Her legacy extends far beyond her own body of work, inspiring generations of actors, filmmakers, and artists to pursue their passions with creativity and dedication. From her humble beginnings in Stockholm to her rise as a Hollywood superstar, Garbo's story is one of talent, perseverance, and determination. She was a true original, a woman of immense talent, beauty, and character who continues to shine brightly in our collective imagination. In the end, Garbo's story is a reminder that the power of art can transcend time and space, speaking to us in ways that are both deeply personal and universally relatable. Her films may have been made decades ago, but they continue to captivate audiences today, offering a glimpse into a bygone era and a sense of connection to the past. That's all for today's Star Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Casey Gold reminding you to keep shooting for the stars.